Okay, so we're gonna have a very real conversation about this project. I just finished page 77, and I am currently at 27,933 words. Which, that should put me at page 93, which means that per my word count, I'm actually behind 16 pages. This is because some of the pages ended up being 400 to 600 words. So I'm really struggling right now with how far do I push this challenge? What is a completed book? You know, when I say, can I write a book in 15 days, what does that mean? Am I beholden to my original outline? The thoughts going through my head right now are, I've reached a point in the book where the character has faced every traditional storytelling trope that's out there. He has gone through the rising action. He is now at the climax where he's facing his inner struggles and his outer struggles, and those things are combined, and he's like right there in the moment. From here, it should be falling action. I'm struggling because I don't want the rest of the book, an entire like half of the book, to be falling action. The character still has to struggle through something. And if he's resolved everything at this point, there's not much more for him to struggle with internally. And so I don't know if telling a story with only external struggle is going to be exciting enough. In order to finish this book, I'm going to do some quick math and figure out how many pages I have to write per hour I have remaining. So feasibly, if I write, let's say 10 hours tomorrow, I can sit down and actually write, and let's say another hour tonight because it's already 11:30 at night. So it gives us 11 hours times, I think where I'm at so far, I think I could write 4 to 5 pages per hour. So that means that I'm hitting about 55 pages more to the book. So my struggle is, or the question really is, do I go through my outline and adjust things so that I only have 50 to 55 more pages, which puts my total page count up to about 130, which is not far off from my goal of 143. So do I add another page on to each hour and try to get 6? Do I try to get 7 pages per hour? What does that look like if I fall behind? That means I have to write more the next hour. And so I don't want to be staying up for 24 hours straight finishing the book, but I feel like I kind of have to hit that 143 page mark because that's what I've been pushing for this whole time. I also don't want to be beholden to an outline that no longer works for the story. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by readjusting the outline, taking out parts that, as I've already written the first half of the book, I'm going to take out some parts that seem unnecessary now because the character's already faced a similar situation. And that may mean taking out a character that Arlen would have interacted with along the way in the second half of the book, because he's already interacted with a similar character early on in the book. I found myself adding a lot of additional context to the first half of the book that I hadn't really planned on doing until the later half. And it made sense for when I was writing and for how the book flows. So I'm going to have to really adjust things moving forward in order to get a book that is also a good story and not just 143 pages for the sake of 143 pages. But in reality, this book is probably going to be upwards to 175 to 200 pages after all of the illustrations are added in. So let's adjust the outline and see where we're at. I just went through and whittled down the outline to 120 pages total. The way that I did that was I just condensed some story elements together into one page. Things just to pick up the falling action a little bit because I really drew it out and it really doesn't need to be that long, especially since I'm already at the halfway point in the book. If I had a whole nother half of a book for that falling action, things would get really boring really quickly. And of course, you know, I could have made it interesting, but I think for the sake of the story, I just condensed a few things. And I also negated one or two little parts that I felt were just redundant. I had already kind of done it in the first half of the book. So I condensed everything down to 120 pages, and that's the goal I'm going to shoot for, which means I have about 50 some pages to write. So I'm going to see what I can finish writing tonight, and then I will divide up the rest of the pages for tomorrow, because that is my last day. This is day 14, so one more day. And then hopefully by the end of tomorrow, I will have a finished book. I think that adjusting the outline was pretty inevitable. When I wrote the outline initially, it was like day 1 and 2. It was before I really had a lot of pages on my belt, and I didn't really know fully well in what direction the story was going to go. So now that I've already written over half of the book, things have changed in my mind, things have changed in the outline. I had to adjust some things and remove some things. So I think the 120 page mark is going to be really good. It's probably still going to be about 42,000 words, more or less, because the way that I'm writing each page is going to be more than 300 words. But I think that this will make a better story in the long run. So thank you for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Like the video, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I release future videos. Check out my Patreon if that's something you want to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.